Hi, my name is Matthew. Good evening, YouTube. I just want to make a quick introductory video before the following ones come out, right, to try to add some context. There's a longer version to the story, but, maybe I'll make another video about that if people are interested, but I doubt it. So, the quick and dirty of it is, I've been listening to a book recently on Audible by Josh and Sean McDowell titled Evidence That Demands a Verdict. And while I'm not finished it, I'm still listening. I got through chapter 7 on the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ, hoax or history, right? And after reading that, I've come to the belief that the most probable chain of events that happened in history during the life of Christ was that God came down to earth, was the son of Mary the Virgin, lived a sinless life and performed miracles, was crucified under Pontius Pilate, was resurrected, and ascended into heaven. Now, I believe that because in history, there is no time machine. We can't go back and say and see what happened in ancient times. It's not possible. So what do? We look at archaeological evidence. We look at manuscripts and writings. And if you go down the rabbit hole of research into these stories we tell our children in schools about what happened in ancient Greek and Rome, etc., you'd be surprised how little evidence there is that we go off of for that. And that's because it's the best we have. We don't want to just ignore history and say, oh, until we had film, we don't know what happened. And everything outside of film, we don't know what happened. And heck, nowadays, right, with AI video generation and such, how trustworthy is even film, right? So that's what we have analysts and historians and such to go through. You've already seen the videos online for AI people picking apart the AI videos and being like, oh, this doesn't seem so trustworthy. Here's what I see that, makes me question it. Here's why I believe these videos, etc. And we do the same thing in history. Historians are constantly debating the evidence on what happened. But while we debate and while we reframe our story of the past and we edit and we adjust as we go along, that doesn't mean you throw out the baby with the bathwater, right? That doesn't mean, since we don't have a perfect understanding of the past, we're just not going to teach history. That would be a really dumb thing to do. All right, and that's not what we do. In schools, we constantly teach our children history and the lessons from it so that we do not make the same mistakes that we made before. At least that's the hope anyways. And based off of the evidence that I've been presented, not just from this book that I've been listening to, but from a longer story of previous research, the belief I stated earlier is the one that I've come to, that I think is the most probable of what happened. And so, as I mentioned before, with us teaching history to our children, so we can learn from it. When I finished that chapter, and I said to myself, "Hey, this is what I believe happened." I immediately thought to myself, "Okay, if this is the history, then what do I need to learn from it?" Right? And even more so than I think many of the tales that are told in school. I think this history might be more important, because if it is true as I believe it to be, then God came down and became one of us and joined us, and not only did he do all the incredible things he did, but from what I've heard, they called him teacher, right? And if they called him teacher, what was he trying to teach us? What can I learn from Christ Jesus? What can I learn from this man? And so I decided, hey, I'm gonna read his words, or at least the words of the people who saw him, or those that walked with people that saw him, right? One thing Wes Huff and other apologetics speakers talk about is that history was not written by the winners sometimes, right? We always say that history is written by the winners, but no, a lot of history was written by the illiterate. A lot of the Mongols, their invasions were written by the people they were conquering. And similarly, right, Jesus was out teaching, doing all these things, busy living the life that he was meant to teach us, and those around him wrote about him. And so I'm going to take, right, just like history, we don't always have the best evidence. I don't have film of Jesus, but I have some writings in the Bible from people around him, or around people that were around him, etc., that wrote about him. And I'm going to read their writings, and I'm going to find, hey, what did he say? What did he have to say to me? And that's why we get to the following videos. I love YouTube. I've been using YouTube since it came out, 2008, 2009. I was a young student. I love YouTube, and I love watching videos from other creators. And one thing I really admired was in the fitness industry, in the fitness maker creator space on YouTube. There are lots of small YouTubers that have like maybe 1 or 2 followers. They get maybe 5 likes, 20 views, and think you're never gonna make any money off this, dude. Why do you keep uploading? And these creators, they're uploading not for the clout, not for anyone to see them, but they're uploading for themselves, because these creators just they've reached their limit. They have been out of shape for so long, and they want to get fit. They want to have healthier bodies. And they go, hey, I have trouble sticking to it on my own. I keep breaking the good habits I'm supposed to have. I keep going back to eating the wrong food, to not getting enough sleep, etc. And they decide, hey, it will help me to have a little bit of accountability. So I'm going to post these videos on YouTube, and even if only 2 people see them, that'll be 2 people that are driving me to keep going, to hit my next workout, to finish my set, and to not eat the cookie that someone offers me at work. Yeah, I find those videos really inspiring. I do. And I've seen myself struggling. I know I have looked into theology and spiritual things in the past, and I have fallen and I've sinned, and I'm really dedicated this time because of the story I just told you, because of what I've been through recently, because I've been convinced in the truth of Jesus that I really want to stick with this. And so I have decided every day, I don't know about the max, but I want to read at least a minimum of a chapter a day. And I'm going to be uploading every chapter. I'm going to read it out loud to myself and to you, and I'm going to upload it on YouTube. Because that is what some of us need to do to get ourselves to stick to our commitments. And it's not all YouTube is for. I love the videos when people upload and they go, hey, I had this trouble today. I'm working on my car. Come with me as I fix it. Or people that go, hey, I'm hungry and this is all I have in the fridge. If you're like me and this is all you have in the fridge, here's a recipe you can feed yourself with, right? That's what I mostly watch YouTube for, is problem solving. Whether it be individual creators, like the problems I just mentioned, or whether it be YouTube educators with science, technology, math, etc. Love those videos. And hopefully my videos don't clog up the YouTube space too much. They don't get pushed all, and you don't have to scroll past my videos as you're trying to watch the other content. But I need this for me. And so I would ask, if you don't feel like this is a waste of your time seeing my videos, that maybe you can add a word of encouragement, or something, I don't know. Help me stick with it, because I know from my other struggles that I've had, and I'm currently working on, that I have failed on commitments before, and don't want to fail this one. So, in the upcoming videos, oh no, I'm ruining my book. It's okay. Meant to be worn in, meant to be read, right? In the upcoming videos, I am going to mispronounce things. I'm going to make mistakes. A lot is going to go wrong. And I hope you'll forgive me, because I'm trying to get to the meat of what is being said here. And I hope you'll forgive all my mistakes as I go through. And once I've read through, I'm starting in the New Testament. That's where Jesus is talking, right? And then I'll go back for the Old Testament for context. And as I go back through stuff, maybe when I go back through and when I get back to the New Testament, I'll read through it again, and I'll actually look everything up, every name, everything, and I'll do it right? I'll re-upload with a good reading of things, good reading of the chapters. But for now, I'm just taking one chapter at a time, starting with Matthew 1, and I'm reading to learn what it says. So that's just why I want to make the video, because with the upcoming videos, I know there will be some very valid possible complaints about, oh, you didn't say that right, etc. Believe me, I know. Forgive me. Hopefully the Lord will too. and I will do it right. It's just not right now. I gotta go to bed. Thank you for your time. Have a good night.